Hello, mommies. Hello, Loc Nation. Today's video are going to be the top 5 truths on how to survive your first year of the do-it-yourself MICRLOCS, which I love so much. And so I will say that thanks to YouTube as a platform and you guys subscribing, commenting, people, when I ask for real feedback, it's some people out there that are giving real feedback, and I appreciate it. I take it. It's not mean, but from that, instead of doing like a question and answers video, these are, from a mixture of experience, do it yourself, and just the feedback that I get, and that I actually try it, and I'm like, oh shit, she knows what she's talking about. These are the things you have to know to survive your very first year. Some of the videos that I look back on, I might not have done it right. And so if you're a follower and you subscribe me, I want to correct any experiments that I did that didn't work out. So stay tuned. Very quickly, I'm going to run down the top 5 ways to survive your very first year after you have installed your beautiful, lovely do-it-yourself MICRLOCS. Stay tuned, guys. Okay, so first up on the menu is something that I haven't followed. It's the hardest thing to do, especially I assume that everybody who's a do-it-yourselfer has the same mental motivation and the same mental clockwork as me, which is probably jacked up. No product and no hands in your hair are the best 2 things you can do. So of course we have to do our own retie or palm roll or however you're going to refresh your hair. And so of course you got to find out how often are you going to retie your hair, or how often are you going to, do a fresh do where you got new parts and you can see your grid, how long will you let it grow in between? So that's the hardest part to try to judge when you first start. But because of some feedback I got, I'm going to post it. And at first I was like, oh, she's going in on me. But of course I welcome it. But everything that she said, I'm like, yeah, I need to keep my hands on my hair. And it's really hard because you want to find the right product, and sometimes you don't want it to grow out, but keep your hands out of your hair as much as possible. So all of the experimenting that I've done with products and gel and twist and the wig glue shit, try not to do it. I know that you watch my video and you're like, oh, I'm gonna do that shit. Okay, if you did it, guess what? This is the worst you could turn out. But overall, maybe the lock texture that you end up wanting, maybe you'll get it sooner. There's still some that I look at that I feel like they look like twists, but overall, I started October 4th, so not quite at a year, but the texture is going to change. And not only that, it's going to thicken up. And I'm someone with thin hair, so I love the thickening. My temples, I'm still working on them, oiling them every day to get them thick. And I've done a couple of reties, you can tell, but it's so hard to keep your hands out your hair because you love it and because you did it and you just want to find what works for you. But the hardest time to find that, but also the best time, is right within the first year. So if you can help it, stick to what I said in another video, which are natural oils, even olive oil, coconut oil, any of the Jamaican lime brand products, but try to stay away from some of the stuff you've seen me use, like gel and blah, blah, blah. And someone even said, palm roll it, put gel in it, spray it, and then leave it alone for 6 weeks or 8 weeks or however long, 2 months, until you get ready to palm roll it again. And so even during this video, look, you can't help but be like, it's like a old Vidal Sassoon commercial. You want to do something, but the best thing to do is to do nothing. So even the washing, trying different products, if you can help it, stick to what's natural, what comes from the earth. Those are usually the cheapest things. Keep your hands out of your hair. Wait until it's time for the retie or the retwist, and just do that. So hardest thing to do by far, but probably the most important thing that I didn't do. And lucky for me, I still turned out great. I still feel like it's locking great, especially in the back. Like, yo, I don't even have like curly ends in the back. They have straight, let me see. They have just like, the texture is totally different. They have locked. This is a lock out here, y'all. Be proud. Look, I'm proud of the lock. And then, but I still love the front, and it, you know, it still looks a little twisty, but love the lock. The process is keep your fingers out of your hair. Let it do what it does. So on to number 2. Okay, so number 2 on how to survive your first year. It might sound the same, but it's really just as simple as trusting the process. So, and I was actually prepared for this video. I wrote stuff down. So some people, depending on the texture of your hair, it might start to get that lock texture in 6 months. It might take a year. It might take a year and a half. I don't know anybody who I've seen that's taken longer, but it could take longer. But whatever your texture changes into, because it's going to change, you know, even me, you know, I want to keep the curls on the end. I'm doing a pretty good job at that. They bounce back. If you follow me, you notice that what's in my hair now is a rinse. The ends are really like a brownish going to blonde, but I've been doing a really good job since that video of spraying my hair down in the morning with oil and water, which is another thing. I was spraying it at night, wrapping it up, but I had some feedback from a comment, which is why I want you to subscribe and tell me, that said only spray it in the morning because at night you run the risk of laying on it and mildewy and start smelling. I was like, you know, that makes sense. So I stopped spraying it at night. I haven't been wrapping it as much, but I did get a new bonnet. So you have to know that your texture is going to change, and whatever it changes to, that is now your texture. That is you. That is the part that you have to trust, and you have to learn it and feel it, know what it is, start to get an idea of what it's going to be. And it might take 6 months or a year and a half and 2 years. And as you learn it, expect that that's the norm. But that is trusting the process, that whatever hair you started out with as a natural, or some of you might have started with a relaxer, is probably not the hair you're going to end up with locks. But that's the whole reason why we're doing it. We want something different. So your texture, how your hair feels in your fingers, how it feels when it starts to turn from a twist or a braid to a lock, that's all normal. And you can't think like, oh, my hair feels this, I gotta do this. Like, there's a difference between your hair feeling dry and you needing to moisturize it versus this is how my hair is going to start to feel. And that's why I always go to the back, because the back has just really locked. You don't see a curl on the end, like the curl has enveloped itself and it is now a lock. So that's the texture that I know eventually all of them may go to. And I might lose some of my curls on the ends, but I'm going to try to keep doing what I do. If you don't know what I do, subscribe, go back and watch the video on how I keep my ends. But that'll definitely be the pattern in the front and maybe not the back, because I kind of lost sight of that. But trusting the process means knowing that the way your lock feels in your hands is not the same way your hair felt when you first locked it or before you locked it. So that is the part about trusting the process and kind of waiting for it to grow too. Because when I was natural, I would wash my hair, it would come down below collarbone, especially the back pieces. They would reach here, the front will reach here. When it's wet, it'll still drop, but overall, especially with interlocking, you're taking your hair, looping it back through. So it's always going to appear shorter than what it is, but we're used to that, right? We had natural hair, we washed it. Look, you combed it out, it came way out here, and then it shrinks. So shrinkage is real with or without locks, but just know your texture is going to change. That is the process, and waiting for it to kind of grow out, that part is on you. So the number 3 thing, 1 was no products, keep your hands out your hair. Number 2 was trust the process and however long it takes, and that your texture is going to change, and that now is your new guide to texture. Number 3 is researching. So I think a lot of you guys might have ended up on my channel thinking I was somebody, which I'm not, and watch my videos. And a lot of you sent me really good stuff like, man, if she can do it, I know I can do it. That's exactly how I felt. I feel like I could have done more research. I feel like I found out and saw more once I had done it, because then I was looking for answers. But go ahead and look for the answers before you start. You can use me by far. Please do. Subscribe, share the video with someone else and say, what do you think? But just know I'm very transparent and upfront. I make mistakes. I tell you about it. So subscribing is the best thing you can do, not just to me, but to anyone that you see and you're like, they did it themselves, they're documenting their journey. Let me watch, because it changes. I might do something one day and figure out 3 months later that that was bullshit. And then I'm going to come back and tell y'all that I messed up and it was some bullshit. So, you know, if you see someone, you like their hair, you like their personality, you can stand to see them talk, even if it's just a little bit. Do your research. And YouTube is a great place to do that, but it's going to be your journey. So just know that no matter how much research you do, your journey may still be a little bit different from somebody else's, and that's okay. So on to number 4 is just about taking feedback. So ask the people that you watch. So if you're not going to do a YouTube video yourself or a channel and document it, go to the people and ask questions. I get a lot of questions, and guess what? If I don't know the answer, I'm going to say I don't know. It might be a good question where I'll be like, you know what, I need to look it up for myself. We'll find out together. Find you a channel to subscribe to, like mine, where people are going to tell you the truth and answer questions and be on their channel. And the good thing is I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm almost there. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. But I'm still at a very little amount of subscribers where every single comment I get, I make sure to thumbs up, heart it, and try to comment or answer any and all questions. Plus I do giveaways. So just find you maybe 4 to 8 YouTubers that have done this process, and no matter what phase they're in, you can watch their videos and get some knowledge, ask questions, and take that feedback into your process, no matter if you're about to start, already started, or if you're already 6 years in, whatever the case may be. And so lastly is just to, once you do all that, is to share. So share what you're going through, because when I started, I thought for sure nobody's going to watch me. Everybody that I saw on Instagram, for example, already had perfect freaking locks. I was kind of a little bit jealous, but I use that to my advantage. But share your experiences, because you never know what you're using, what you're trying, what you're doing, if it's going to help somebody else, and it can help even some of the pros. So even if you're not documenting it, you don't have to start get on Facebook, get on Twitter, get on Pinterest, get on TikTok, get on IG, share what you're doing with your hair, because no matter what, you're going to love it. So share what you love, because most likely somebody else is going to love it too. And it's somebody else that needs the information, and it's something that's going to help them and save them. So that's what really got me going, and you guys kept me going. So we are at, I think as of today, 912 subscribers. If I get 1,000, we can go live and y'all could just give me feedback straight up. I can do so much with 1,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Share the channel with a friend or a family member, or your beautician who's thinking about doing it, and they may be like, girl, don't listen to her. That's cool. Give me your comments, like it. But those are the things that's going to get you through your first year. So keep your hands out of your hair. Try to use as little product as possible. Just retie and retwist when necessary. Trust your process. It's going to take some people longer. It's okay. Whatever the process is, trust it. And know that your texture is going to change, but you're going to love it. Research. Use every social media outlet you can, but YouTube is by far the best while you're researching. Like this video, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Leave me a comment. Leave me some good advice, because I love y'all. Be able to take the feedback that you get, and whatever you get, and find your routine, stick to it. Search for answers, ask questions. And then lastly, once you get it together, or you don't have it together, whatever, share it with us. So you don't have to make a YouTube channel, but take a picture, share it, because I'm probably looking at your hair like, damn, that's bomb. And take your hearts and your likes and soak them up and have a good day. But other than that, those are very simple things, but those are the 5 truths. So if you can do that, you can get through your first year. I'm not even there yet, but when I do get there, we're gonna have a big party, a bunch of giveaways. In the meantime, just help me get to 1K subscribers. Hit the subscribe button, get notifications. I'm back off vacation. I'm ready to go. We're back to mommy time. I ain't even in my bathroom, y'all. Come on. So that's it. That'll help you get there. I'm going to help you get there. Let's talk. Let's follow me on IG, follow me on Twitter. I don't really even be on Pinterest like that or TikTok, but all that, I'm going to put it in the comment section. And anything else that I feel like you guys need to know is down in the description. I will see all of you guys next week or before then, and leave me your feedback. See you guys later.